Hi, everybody, and Pinche Al is back. And what does that mean for you? Well, we're back at it, and we're busy as ever. And we're going to get back on track with the contest. Yes, we are still doing a contest. I still have tons of stuff to give away. We have a little over 450 entries required to finish this contest. So let's finish it. But before we talk about what's going on, banging, anything, let me introduce you to my daughter, Ka Iulani, meaning the highest point in heaven. And she's here 7 days old. 8 days. 9 days? 9 days old. I see. Obviously, I can't even tell time anymore. The baby's doing great. My wife is doing just as good. We are having no sleep. Yay! But we love her. We love it. It's worth it. But without further ado, here is our daughter, Ka Iulani. There you go. Oh, my precious. Oh, she's yawning. You guys got to yawn. Look. You guys got to yawn. There she is, guys. What's funny, you guys get to see her more than anybody else in my family. So this means a lot. But yeah, there she is, guys. 9 days old and kicking. You guys get to see her wide open too. Look at her. She's freaking awesome. Yes, she's rolled up into her burrito. Why? Because we're Mexican and that's what we do. We roll our children in burritos. Oh. There she is. Look at her. Oh. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, that's our daughter in a nutshell. I mean, all it does right now, all it does is pretty much poop, eat, and sleep. So there's not much to her, not for a while, but she's awesome. She's so awesome. She's so awesome. All right, and give it back to Mama. There you go. Oh wow, you got to see my wife.
There's the brief.
That's it. That's the most you guys get to see her in years. Oh wow. Thank you, David. Thank you, Bangin. But yes, I'm here. I'm actually tuning in for you guys. Just wanted you guys to see her and talk Mark 4, talk Mark 2, talk Corrado, talk Volkswagen in general. But I'm going to start working on something really quick. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm here to help. That's what Pinche Al's Garage does, and that's what we're going to do because we're here to help, and I want to help you guys as best I can. Let's see here. So please ask away. We're, like I said, we are a little over halfway on the contest. As of 2 weeks ago, I'm going to be promoting it like crazy starting next week or pretty much tomorrow because I want this over with. So I want to go to the next contest. I wanted to go do turbos. We want to give away a turbo, but I can't give away a turbo without getting rid of the other stuff I have. So you guys need to get this over with because I want to give away some stuff. All right? So while you guys are there, you guys ask me some questions. No problem, Banging. No problem. Like I said, we still have time and we still have pretty much stuff going on. But there's one guy right now. I forgot his name. He's on there. He's over 100 and something entries. He's going to pretty much probably be the guy that's going to win the first place prize. But either way, what's going on, Mike? How's it going? But either way, though, we still have 450, 460 entries left. You guys can definitely make this happen. We are shipping to Mexico and Canada. I'm sorry, we're not shipping. I'm delivering the contest prizes to Mexico or Canada. Correction. So if you guys win and you guys are in Canada, I personally will ship it to you. If you guys are in surrounding states, I'm willing to drive. I live in California, so I'm willing to drive and drop off your prize instead of paying for shipping. If you guys want that to happen, that'd be something cool. So it is something that you guys can think about, but it's not required, obviously. But if you guys have questions, please, please, please comment. I am here to talk and help and saying, what's up? What's going on, Johnny boy? What's going on? I got to get my box of stuff. Give me a quick second. I'll be right back. Let's see here. I'm back. Let's see. There's a question here from Dallin Winning. Congrats. I just ordered some wiper caps for my Mark IV. Just wondering when it will be shipped out. Thank you, Dallin, for actually asking that question. Very, very good question. They will actually, everything that was on hold for the last 2 weeks since I've been super busy. We're finally back on track. I've got a bunch of product here that I'm going to be shipping and producing tonight and shipping out tomorrow. So, Dallin, thank you for that question. I will be shipping everything out pretty much next week. So be ready, guys, to see your guys' product tomorrow, starting tomorrow all the way to Friday. Everything's going to be shipped out that I have currently. There's not much left. I have about like 15, 20 orders left, and that will be gone. For anybody else tuning in, don't worry. A lot of you guys are also going to get special for being so patient and waiting. I will provide you some very, very special treats that no one else will be able to get a hold of because they're one-time items that I will be producing for you guys just because you guys are awesome and very patient with me. So thank you on that part on my behalf and on behalf of my family. Thank you. Now, Banging, any advice on doing my half moon, your half moon seal? The one on the head? Let's see. Is that the one you're talking about, Banging? Okay, thank you. Yes, very, very simple. Buy the tool. There's a special tool for the half moon seal that goes on the actual cam, the cam tensioner. Every bolt that's around the cam tensioner, let me see if I can show you. Here you go. So this is your head. This is your cam tensioner right here. You'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Or no, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts in total. There's a special tool that goes in this hole right here. You see that where my fingers are? There's a tool that goes in there. And what that does, it slides underneath the chain and it compresses the chain for you. Once that's done, it gives you access to the half moon seal over here on the back underneath the tension. You need to pop that out with a flathead screwdriver, pop the seal back in, and put the new gasket that sits underneath, and you're done. Just bolt it all back down to spec, and that's it. It's a very, very simple job, but you need to take your time. All right? I'm going to put this back. It's a little heavy. And now my leg's covered in oil, so give me a second. I'm back. Okay. Okay, my cruise control don't work. What can I do? Ooh, that's a good one. Cruise control has a couple of things that are an issue. The vacuum plays a role in cruise control on a Mark IV, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the steering wheel stock is what we call it. Sometimes those go bad, and cruise control won't work. So I would definitely keep testing for those, and also the fuse. If it's good, then yeah, vacuum leaks will prevent cruise control from working correctly, and the stock itself might be bad. The good thing though, you go to a junkyard and get one for dirt cheap. Just pull one off. You just gotta take the steering wheel off. That's the catch. They're a pain. But if you get the steering wheel off, you can definitely get the cruise control and everything off the car, and then swap it back over. Give me a second. I gotta start this really quick. I got a lot of stickers that I gotta make. Okay. Let's see here. So, you guys have any other questions at all? Hopefully that worked for Mike. Hopefully that helps you out. Sorry it's going to be a little noisy, but yeah. Johnny Boy, I really want to make my Mark IV all-wheel drive. Easy, super easy solution for that. Buy an R32. That's it. It's the only way you can do it. Unless you have a fabrication shop, a wrecked R32, so you can replace the whole rear pan, because you need the rear end. You legitimately need the entire rear end, not just the diff, the suspension, all that. You actually need the rear pan where the diff and everything sits underneath the back. You got to cut that off, cut it off on your car, put it on, and then you can make it all-wheel drive. If not, buy an R32. That's the only way you can make it all-wheel drive Mark IV. It's been done many times. It's not cheap. And like I said, unless you own a fabrication shop, your average cost is going to be anywhere from about $5,000 to $10,000 plus because of all the fabricating you have to do to make it all-wheel drive. The GTI doesn't have what they call the channel to run the drive shaft underneath the car, and it doesn't have the rear suspension brackets to mount everything. Everything has to be created, and especially the special fuel tank that you need. You need an R32 fuel tank so it actually fits in the back. Right, Mike? I know it's easy to say, but it's the truth. There's no other way around it, unfortunately. If you're really, really adamant and you want an all-wheel drive car with some pep, Banging gives you the exact answer. Buy an older A4. Oh, that's freaking cool. Very cool, Dallin. But yeah, an Audi A4 you can buy all day for nothing. And they come in Quattro, and you can buy in a 1.8T. Now, there's a big catch, though, with buying an Audi A4. Try to buy the latest, not the newest, I mean, not the oldest, but the newest last generation of the 1.8T, because they use a Halodex controller for the rear end. But the problem with the Halodex on those cars, they're extremely hard to find now, especially for the first generation's 1.8T A4s. The Halodex, pretty much, you're going to have fun trying to find a rear diff and a Halodex that works on those cars. They tend to fail pretty often, and they're just garbage. So have fun trying to find one that works in good condition. And the only big downside is, even if it works great and you put some power down, how long it's going to last before that rear end dies on you, you know? They weren't really meant for performance applications, which is kind of weird, because there are people out there that have high-end, like high-performance A4s, but they use completely different rear ends on them. What are your thoughts on a 2012 20 Golf R 6-speed manual? Buy one, except for one thing. They use the FSI engine, not the TSI engine. So one big issue with the FSI engine is what we call the cam follower on the fuel pump that sits on the cam. It looks like a little thimble that goes over your finger. If that's not maintained, in other words, replaced every 20 to 30,000 miles, the thimble, what happens is that there's like a little metal divot that goes on that rolls the cam around it that pressurizes the fuel pump. That little thimble gets rubbed and rubbed and rubbed over time with oil, and it digs a hole into it. And what happens eventually, that hole, that digging and digging, eventually just thimble explodes, fuel pump blows up, and then destroys your head, and that's the end of pretty much of your motor, or the head and the cams. So they require a little bit more maintenance and a little bit more babying, I guess you could say. But they're a phenomenal car. So I would definitely recommend the car. But if you do buy it from someone who actually took care of it and babied the car, and not a guy who's actually thrashed it and just drove it like a race car every single day, because you might end up with a lot more problems than you would want. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, let me look it up. Hold on. I got my phone right here, Mike. I definitely would love to see your taillights. If they're neat, I'm very interested. Let's see here. MK4 Wolf Mike followed you back. Now that's weird. That is definitely unique. I got nothing against it. It's definitely different. I I definitely want to see it on the car because I don't know. It's different, Mike. Definitely different, and I want to see that on the car. Yeah, exactly. Why don't you take a picture right now, Mike? Turn the car on and light them up. I want to see that. I would definitely appreciate that, Mike, because it's different, and it's not a bad different. That's what I'm going to tell you. There are some things that are bad that are different. Yours is just unique and different. I like it. I like it. I'm going to say it's not my cup of tea. However, I enjoy this. I enjoy this because it's not ricey. It's not um, it's not over exaggerated in how it looks. So to me, I give you a thumbs up. Number one for originality. Number two for doing a good job actually, because those lines came out clean on your paint. And number two, it's definitely going to be different for your car, and I want to see how it looks on a car because the only thing is like it's black. The whole thing is black around it. So black, a solid black tail light, it doesn't work really well with certain colored cars. So I'm hoping that you have like a black, if you either have a black car, number one, or you have a white car. A white car would be, or a red car. There you go. Those three colors would be legit. You know, I like I said, I got nothing against what you did. It's definitely original, and it's very good original. It's not ricey original. Banging. Just picked up a 2013 A6 2.0T. Very nice. That is a very cool car. My wife actually just got a 2014 Jetta Sport Wagon TDI 6-speed, and she loves it. We sold our Passat wagon. You have no idea how much that hurts me. I've had that car for 10 years, and it's not once ever leave me stranded in the entire life that I've owned that car. And I teared up. I legitimately teared up selling that car. And I did not want to sell it, but I don't have the driveway space for that car. I own way too many cars. I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I own too many cars, and I don't sell my cars. The only reason why the only reason I sold this car was because the owner, and I'm going to give you a cool short story about this car. The owner saw this car 5 years ago. Yes, at the dealership when I went into the dealership to go buy some car parts, and he approached me and my wife and offered me to buy the car for $5,000+, and then we immediately said no, it's not for sale. But then we regretted saying that because we wanted to buy a different car. But then we fell more in love with the car. And then when the moment he asked us that, the car, remember, the car was silver then. 5 years ago, the car was silver. It was reflex silver on BBS wheels. And we kind of liked the car, kind of didn't like the car. We just weren't really in love with the car. We just enjoyed it because it was a wagon, had a lot of space, blah, blah, blah. 2 years later, we got it painted black, BMW black, and we changed the wheels out. We got some Yoshiharas, DX2s, and my wife just immediately just fell in love with it, like more. And then we bought some black leather interior for it, and it just got better and better and better. And 8, 9, 10 years passed by, and we were just like, not going to sell the car. And then we had a baby. Now, the reason why the car is being sold because I need to buy a new AC system. That's over $1,000+ just in parts that we need to put into it for the AC. It needed new front leather seats. It needed a little bit of extra stuff, but not a lot. Nothing mechanically wrong with the car. The engine, the turbo, everything on that car, flawless. I took care of that thing. That thing is immaculate. Just all the off stuff that doesn't require the car to work needed a lot of money and an attention. And my wife, I mean, summer is right a month or two behind us here in California, and it's hot. and it's a black car. And I got a new baby, and I don't have AC in the car, and it's gonna be super hot. And my wife's just like, no. So I said, let's go look at cars. We're not gonna buy one. Let's go look at cars. So we go down this lot by my house, the VW dealership specifically. We're walking, and the salesman comes by. His name's George. And we're walking, and everything's an automatic DSG. Nothing against it, but it's just DSG. My wife hates automatic cars. I hate automatic cars. I'm a manual car owner, period. So we told the guy, we just don't want anything in an automatic, period. We just want it manual and a good deal. 2.5 liter, 1.8T, 2.0T, we're fine. Not a big deal for us. Walking, and the guys are like, here's a manual. I'm like, well, what is it? And it's like, it's a white Jetta Sport Wagon TDI manual, 6-speed. And my wife's all like, that's it. That's the one we want. I'm all like, we haven't even looked at the freaking car. She's like, it's a manual. That's it. I'm like, oh, I love you, babe. I love you so much. Why? Because it's a manual. She loves manual. Give me a minute, Ivan. I'm just finishing up my story. So we went there. We got a killer deal, $10K for a 2014 Jetta Sport Wagon, 40,000 miles on the odometer, diesel. So yeah, I mean, freaking awesome. And $200 a month, I can't complain. We sold the Passat for $2,000, our wagon. So we're using that extra 2 G's to add it to the car payment. That way I can pretty much get rid of my car payment. Don't want a car payment. I hate it. And only reason why I actually bought the car, like legitimately good reason why I bought the car, is because Volkswagen gave me a 2-year bumper-to-bumper, unlimited miles warranty on the car. Full powertrain, I mean everything covered on the car for no additional cost. Yeah. That was a no-brainer for me. So we got it, and we bought it, and that's what we've been driving. Sold the wagon to the guy that wanted my wagon 5 years ago, because he was still working there. D Stone and Ivan, everything's great. The baby's doing phenomenal. I'm back working. I'm about to turn on my 3D printers after we actually finish this conversation here. I got a lot of 3D prints to make. So yeah, everything's going good though. The Mark II's almost done. Oh man, the Corrado almost done. So a lot of big things. I'm actually going to be posting some new DIYs tonight as I'm working on 3D prints and stuff. So yes. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, sir. I'm always glad to come back and always glad to have a conversation. Thank you, Robert. I'm very glad about the Mark II. My wife's Mark II has been coming along very, very great. The contest is almost done. We need 460 entries. So please, if you don't know about the contest, inform yourself, learn everything about it. Watch my prior videos. It explains everything. Get involved because the contest is dope, and I got a lot of other stuff. I'm actually going to be doing some extras giveaway stuff, but I'm not going to announce anything until the contest is over. Oh, Robert, what do you want to know about car audio on a Mark IV? I don't know if you've seen my Mark IV. Whew, I'm a big car audio guy, so I could definitely help you out, but I need to know what you want to know about your car audio stuff. But the baby's great. Contest is still going strong. If you guys have any other questions about Volkswagens, comment. Put some comments. Thank you, D. Thank you, D Stone. I'm all about Mark IIs right now and Mark IVs and Corrados. So yeah, I got a couple cool DIYs coming actually. Oh yeah, oh dude, do you have what kind of stereo? Or what stereo do you have in your car? And does it have? Is it a 6-channel out? Your stereo, like does it have a front, rear, and a subwoofer out? Because that matters a lot when you're gonna do 4-channel. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna give you a recommendation around speakers. Just give me a second here. I gotta find them for you. I don't know how your wallet is. They're not expensive, but they're good. Nice, Dalen. Stage 2 is always good. Make sure you have all the supporting mods. Oh, power line out? No, that's gonna sound like garbage. Don't do that. No, get a deck that supports everything you need. Yeah, if you're gonna have a stock monsoon or anything like that, it's gonna sound like crap. Don't do that. No. A line out is gonna sound. You're gonna have so much static and noise going through it. Not worth it. Get yourself a good radio. For Ivan, what car do you have? Oh, MK4. Yeah, the the steering wheel controls won't work. You gotta have a converter for them, but a lot of times they won't work. Still, it's a wiring nightmare if you're gonna try to get that to work. If you're trying to use an aftermarket radio with the Monsoon amp, you cannot, because you have no way of actually sending a signal into the amp to convert to amplify it. You can't do it. Just get rid of it and get a good aftermarket amp. Get a good JBL amp. Don't buy a Pioneer or a Kenwood amp. They're garbage for 4 channels. What's another? Sound Logic is a great amp. Infinity, another good company that makes a good 4-channel amp. Try go. Let's see. These are the speakers that I would recommend for you. These are great speakers. I have these on. Yes, Fosgate and Alpine are also good. Not Fos. I don't recommend Fosgate anymore because they sold out. They got sold to a different company that make garbage now. But Alpine still makes really, really good stuff. Definitely stick with them too. But those are the speakers I would recommend for your Mark IV for the front and rear. Very, very good. What are you talking about, Robert? Gotta be a little bit more specific for me, sir. Yeah. Old school Fosgate, titties. New stuff, garbage. Alpine still makes good stuff. I'm thinking maybe I should do a speaker package for Mark IVs as well. You guys would like a car audio package down the road? Polk speakers are good. Polk speakers, I definitely enjoy Polk stuff really a lot. They make good stuff, but their amps are kind of iffy depending on the tier of their amp. It's kind of difficult. Let's see here. You guys, I'm huge. I'm huge into car audio. This is an ancient Diamond Audio 4-channel amp. This is actually what we call an audiophile amp. If you know about your car audio and you know how to use car audio, this is actually meant to be a tweeter and mid-range amp. Fucking phenomenal. It has every single frequency known to man here, and it's, oh god, this amp only pushes, I think, 35 or 45 watts, but it's louder than my 1,000-watt 4-channel Fujitsu that I carry in my car. The only reason why I don't use it because it's not very efficient with higher end, bigger like wattage speakers, so I don't use it for it. But yeah, this is an awesome amp. I'll show you another good amp too. This is an Alpine PDX 5-channel. Alpine PDXs are probably one of the best mini amps you can buy. This is what is it, a 350 by 4 with a 300 watt amp, 300 watt monoblock on top of that. So pretty much a full entire package for your car with one amp. Phenomenal amp. This is, when I bought this was like about $800 when it came out, and it bumps. I mean, this is freaking awesome amp. And then, oh, this is one thing, my favorite things about this amp too. It's like connector based. It's freaking cool. You wire up the connectors here, and then done. Easy, super easy. Another cool amp. And then, if you guys like new age stuff, there we go. This is Kicker's KX series. Brand new in the box. This is a 1,000-watt 5-channel. So front and rear speakers and your subwoofer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there should be a sub right over here. So awesome amp. What's one of my favorite things about this amp, I wish I could open it. On the other side here, they have an awesome feed system where you can actually wire up. Like, say if you have a newer car and you don't want to run all the wiring you don't want to get an aftermarket deck. You just want to stick with the stock deck, and you want to go after get bigger sound. This has a line input converter built into it that's actually digital. So the quality of the audio is actually not bad. Not bad at all for this little guy. It also has Bluetooth built into it, which is very interesting. I don't know what it's for. I don't really care for it because I hardwire everything in my cars, but it's definitely an interesting, interesting. But yeah, this is a phenomenal amp. If you guys want to do a Mark IV all-in-one system, let's see, Bangin'. So for adding a sub and amp, you say don't use a line converter? Correct. Do not use line out. Upgrade your radio, number one. Get a radio that actually offers RCA outs. So a radio that uses the RCA connectors. Make sure it uses more than 4 volts coming out of the back of the deck, and then run all your wiring for each door, and then run a separate 4-channel amp if that's all you want. I actually got some cool ideas. I want to build what we call an all-in-one system, but I got it's so much stuff to do, and I'm going to show you something else. What else we got over here? Let's see. The Kenwood's amps, decks are really good, but just remember again, make sure they have 3 sets of pre-outs and that they're high voltage, more than 2 to 3 volts. If they're 4 volts or 9 volts even, buy it. I don't care the brand. You want more voltage going through your RCAs. That way your signal to your amps is as clean as possible. That's why a lot of people in the competition world or car audio world who are big audiophiles like me and other people, if we don't get high voltage, then what we do is we add a DSP controller. That adds like 10 to 15 volts going through your wiring. Now, DSP is like this little brain that converts that signal and digitalizes the signal and sends it back out at a higher and cleaner frequency. So that way, when you turn the volume up, you get no distortion, you get clean audio, and it sounds amazing. You can make legitimately shitty speakers sound like studio speakers without forking out a fortune. Subs, I got a Kicker Comp RT for the Mark II. We're going to build a custom shallow sub box for the Mark II. These are awesome sub because they don't require a lot of space to work or to fit pretty much. Very, very minimal space. And you guys see, look, very shallow. And they thump. These things hit hard for such a tiny sub, and they sound very, very good. I'm very impressed with the sound quality on these little subs. Now, if you're a big guy, if you're a big boy like me, and you want your shit to thump, then I got something for you. I'm a car audio guy. Remember this. Through and through. I like to make alarms go off. I like to bother the guy next to me. Oh, man. CVX. Oh, such a good sub. Love it. I love those subs. Now, these are a sub that kind of came and left. This is Funkin Audio. I know the name is weird, but these things are gnarly. These are, I think, 700 watts RMS, so 1400 watts peak, and they thump. And I got 8 of these, I think. Yeah, I got 8 of them. I'm putting 4 in my GTI, and I'm gonna put 2 in my bus, and then 2 more on some other car. But yeah, these things fucking knock. They knock, and they sound amazing. I actually have four of these in my GTI right now, but in 10s. I got 4 10s in my Mark IV. And every time I'm driving in my Mark IV, oh, if a good old school gangster rap kicks on, turn it up, bump it, can't even breathe. I love it. People are just sitting next to me, they're like, what the hell? Oh, I love it. But yeah, these things knock, and they're not meant what's the word for boom? They're meant to be clear and loud, but not bassy. I guess it's hard to explain. But if you guys know about sub boxes, sealed, ported, vented, bandpass, side mount, side slot, baffled. There's so many different kinds of sound boxes that you build for subs. These are meant to be in a sealed box. What's going on, Monroe? How's it going? Meant to be in a sealed box, 1.5 cubic feet for one. And I got 4 of these going in my Mark IV. 1.5 cubic feet for minimum, 2 cubic feet for maximum clarity and maximum bass. These guys can go all the way down to 18 hertz, which is low, very low. Bandpass is for poor people. If you want as loud as possible for cheap as possible, you buy a bandpass box. You put some cheap ass subs in there and knock. It just sounds like dirty bass, but Oh, nice, 6-speed. All right, all my cars are 5-speed. My bus is 4. Yes, they are different kinds of band passes. There are band passes designed for competition, for dB, but they're not designed for clarity. Remember that, banging. There are many different kinds, but there are, yeah. For Aviator, yes, there is many ways to control sub volume and sub. It depends on the radio, number one. You can have a radio that controls it independently from the speakers. Number two, you can have what they call a bass knob, which pretty much just messes with the gain, which is like the worst thing you can do on any amp or sub. Never set your gain any higher than halfway. Anything less than that, you're going too much. Yeah, 4th order boxes are massive. Massive. They're just designed to be stupid loud. I'm not here for loud. I'm here for clarity. I'm here to listen to bass notes. I'm a big bass head when it comes down to, like, I listen to a lot of old school trance, hard drum and bass, gangster rap. I mean, I still listen to bass music, old school bass music, she's not Kid Frost, Kid Bass, I think it was, or Kid Frost. I don't remember. Geez, now I got to go on my Spotify and find out. Oh, you're looking to buy? Go on Facebook, man. You can buy all that stuff on Facebook for sure. Now I got to open up my Spotify because now I need to know. I actually have a bass station. If you guys have Spotify, look for this for my bass playlist. If you guys are big into bass, yeah, okay. It's called a Kid Sensation. Oh, the 80s, 90s bass music. Rolling with Number One, Supersonic, back bass of Foresight. What else is there? DJ Laz, Hit or More, Don't Stop the Rock, 69 Boys, Gucci Crew, MC Freak Nasty. I mean, all these old school bass music. Oh, I love it. Yeah, but if you guys want to find it, hey, babe. Whoa, that's a lot of milk. Huh? Can't hear you. Oh, that's crazy. Had questions. Have an all-wheel drive Jetta. Wanted to add a wideband. Finding out that they're difficult to upgrade. Want to tune it, but seems it's limited. Any suggestions for upgrading the vehicle? Yes. Go to an exhaust shop. Get an old O2 bung welded to your exhaust as close as possible to the exhaust manifold. and then run a wideband to your car. You're done. That'll give you a wideband. It'll be independent to the car, but it'll give you a wideband. Make sure you have a wideband that you can plug into your USB control, like to a computer with USB. That way you can log your fueling. That way the car can be tuned correctly if you want to use that. All right. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, if you find me on Instagram, Spotify, the name of my playlist is called Bass, BASS, exclamation point, all caps. It's the name of my Spotify playlist if you like old school bass music. Contrast is going good. Monroe hasn't moved, unfortunately, but it's going. We got more stuff coming soon. I just been finally getting back into the real world again, so I can start posting and getting the contest back up and going again. Don't worry, I have everybody logged. I got a bunch of their stuff. Counting down registers and listening. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the congratulations. Good times. Always a good time banging. I'm always here to answer questions and help you guys. I always have fun with our conversations here. They're interesting, to say the least. I'm trying to find some scissors. Yeah, no, always. I love the randomness. Like I said, we went from Mark IV to car audio to, the next meet is actually this Thursday. However, we will be, most of the crew is actually going to be down in Chino Valley because Black Star is here. One of the largest car shows in California. If you guys want to go, over 2,000 cars show up. But it's a camping event. It starts from Wednesday, ends on Sunday. And when I mean over 2,000 cars, it is over 2,000 cars, period. Hundreds and hundreds of cars to see, primarily Volkswagens. Your phone died. So if you guys are in California, and that's primarily Southern California, look up Black Star Camping on Facebook. It starts on Wednesday, ends on Sunday in Chino Valley, and it's on the Prado Campgrounds. Phenomenal show. I will be there with Philbert and Heifer, with a lot of my friends from the car club. But if you guys can't make it, head over to the meet. It might be people there. I don't know. It might be dead. Like I said, a lot of us are going to be there. There's about 20 of us going, maybe more, to this awesome show. Tons of fun times. Tons of fun people and a lot of people to meet. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's very, very good time. Even if you go for one day, if you're going to go for one day, go on Saturday or Sunday. Those are the hottest days. They give away engines, they give away cars, they give away wheels, they give away so much stuff. And on Sunday, there's like 30, 40 vendors. There's like food vendors. There's so much stuff. Oh. It's a good time. It's a very, very good time. Sorry. There you go. Scissors. Give me a minute, guys. I gotta go find some scissors. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm back. Sorry for leaving, but trying to get stuff done, you know? Trying to be productive. Okay, that's good. You have a good night too, sir. Robert, if you can post up a picture, maybe go on my Facebook and tag me in it and show me, I can tell you what it is. I got my phone right here. I can, if you have Facebook or Instagram. Of course, you can hit me through Instagram as well. Definitely, just send me a message. I'll definitely look at it and see what I can do for you. That's what we have phones. That's why we have social media. We can get to each other as fast as we can and answer questions. For Dallin Whiten, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. Do you recommend running a GT28 Turbo on low boost with stock internals? Yes, actually, I do not mind you doing that. That is perfectly fine. You could probably run about 7 to 10 psi, which would get you about 280 to 290 horsepower. The issue is your torque, depending on your tuner, on how he figures out the torque curve and the fueling. That's where it's going to be very dangerous because torque breaks stock rods. Anything over 300 pounds of torque will bend and break your rods on that car. That being said, if your torque curve is like nice and straight versus spiking, you can actually make even more torque than that without destroying your engine. So your tune, it's really about your tuner, honestly. Your tuner will make and break your car. Hopefully that answers your question, Dalen. Come on, guys, let's chat. Let's talk. I got time to kill. I got time to talk to you guys. What's going on? Yeah. If ain't nobody got time something to say, I'll leave. It's a threat. I'm threatening you guys. I will leave. Well, that sucks. $6 is a decent chunk of change. That'll get me drunk. All right, let's see. For Robert, I'm waiting for that message, buddy. Okay, so that connector is for the some early models of the Mark IV had the 6-disc changer in the back as well. So that's what that's for. So it's useless, pretty much. For Mike, for Mike's question, give me a second, Dalen. What upgrading the semi intercooler will always be better than the stock intercooler if you're on a stock turbo. If you're going to go to an actual slightly larger turbo like KO4 or bigger, then upgrade to a front mount intercooler to benefit for the extra flow and the better cooling properties for that. For Dalen, what do I prefer? KO4 and F21. F21 makes more power than a KO4. Pretty much, an F21 is a bored-out version of a KO4. So they're identical frame size. In other words, they're pretty much twin turbos, except for the inside of the turbo is bigger on an F21. That's the difference. So get an F21. It's cheaper and it's better. Yeah, there's if you look on the side of where that Monsoon amp is at, there's a rack that mounts a 6-disc CD changer where that plugs into. That's all that was for. But it was very, very rarely you see those in cars because those things were garbage. Those things failed all the time. No one liked them. Any other question, guys? I'm here to answer them. If not, I'm gonna go home. Wait, I'm gonna log off. I'll get back to work on doing some more car stuff. For Robert, if your radio is 100% stock and there's no sound coming out through the back, you need to check the amp that's in the side pocket on the back by the trunk. Check the Monsoon amp and see if any wires are corroded or any corrosion. If there isn't, then the amp itself is failing, and pretty much you just need to get an aftermarket radio, man. get rid of the stock Monsoon junk and go to something good. I mean, no disrespect, but anything that comes in a car factory is garbage. Period. I don't care if you have the Mach stereo, the Bose system, the Harman Kardon, the JBL factory stuff is garbage. I can put an Alpine radio in a car, a cheap 2-channel amp, and a good, decent pair of front speakers, and it will outperform any factory radio, period, all day. You know, it's just the way it is. It's just factory just gives you what they need to give you, and that's it. I need to do some DIYs soon for car audio. You guys love the stuff that I do, and you guys would learn a lot from car audio because there's a lot to learn. All right. If it's an aftermarket hand unit, did you wire it to the factory, to the aftermarket amp, or did you wire it, or did you bypass it? I don't know how you wired up your stereo system. You got to give me a lot more information than just an aftermarket radio. Yes, David. The F-21 is definitely a good stock. I mean, a good replacement over stock, but you need a completely different tune to run it. You cannot run that tune. Okay? I mean, it still doesn't matter what radio you have. How did you wire it to your car? Right, banging? Hopefully a metric kit, right? And not an Amazon. No, not the cheap Amazon or eBay or Walmart specials. For Dalen, you're going to have to change your tune. I'm just telling you that right now. It's going to have to change for the F-21 Turbo. And you're going to need to upgrade your fueling as well. That is correct, Robert. You will need to pull that radio out and inspect it and see how it was done. Because if they cut the factory wiring and they spliced into the wires and did not properly bypass the amp, your only front speakers are going to work and the rear ones are not going to work if that's the case. Now, if they were working and then they started to not work, then you need to check your wiring and see if none of the wires got ripped or spliced, or they just ran electrical tape and didn't solder anything. There's a lot. Car audio is one of those things. Is like I solder all my lines, and then I heat shrink everything, so everything is in there pretty much permanently, unless I have to cut it out. A lot of people out there, when they wire up a radio to a car, they do it as cheap as possible, and they do it janky, and which means over time, heat, moisture, those wires will end up pulling apart because of the heat, constricting, expanding, and they'll short and they'll prevent something from working. So yes, Robert, I'd highly recommend you pulling that radio out and inspecting it and testing it pretty much. You're welcome, Dalen. I definitely appreciate answering your questions. Sorry to give you a rough time, Robert, but yes, crimson and heat shrink is the way to go. Solves a lot of big headaches in wiring, and especially in finding problems in wiring. That's for sure. You know, if you don't use heat shrink, make sure you use quality barrel connectors. Don't buy that cheap Walmart barrel connectors because those things suck so much. And if you're gonna get crimps, get ratcheting crimps to crimp the crap out of the wires. You know, when it comes down to wiring, I'm extremely anal because I want to make sure. Number one, I don't have a fire. Number two, I don't have any shorts. Costs money for your equipment. You blow out something, you just lost $200, $300, or a cheap amp or a cheap anything cheap. I mean, you lost it. It's a loss in money. Make sure you don't cheap out and stuff, and you pay attention to it. Robert, send me some pictures. I can definitely help you as best I can when you get that deck out, and to help you if you want to, I can video chat as well, and we can definitely source out your problem and see what's going on. And you're welcome, by the way. So, any good places for vinyl? One guy I know, look him up on Instagram, Mac Wraps. Is a good guy. It's not cheap. FYI, wrapping cars are not cheap. It might be cheaper to get your car painted, just so you know. But the guy's name is called Mac Wraps. And I'll give you his information right now. This is on Instagram, okay, Robert? And it's MAC_WAPS. That's his name on Instagram. Another guy that does wraps, that I like his wrap jobs, is give me a second here. Gotta find him. Give me a second here. I can't find him. His name on Instagram is Explosive Wraps. He's a friend of mine. Really, really good guy, but he lives way far up north. You really want to talk to Mac Wraps. His name's Casey. Super cool guy. Big dubber, so you can definitely talk to him. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. I'm tired. I actually got to go to bed right now because I got to wake up in 3 hours to feed my daughter. So, without further ado, everybody, thanks for watching. And as always, if you see a fellow dubber, give him a thumbs up on the road. Respect one another. And here at Pinche Al's Garage, we're going to do as always. We're going to break, fix, and repeat. So peace out and stay tuned for more because we got a lot more coming at Pinche Al's Garage. Peace out. Thank you. Thank you. You guys all have a good night as well.